Evening now. Morning, Mark. Hope you're well. Just switch the camera on while I'm doing a bit of housekeeping and marking my charts up. And thought, well, somebody's got a question, sort of mindset, whatever. I'll answer it. So why not? See how we go. Maybe we'll have half an hour or so. Quiet today. Nobody's speaking, so I'm not speaking either. Rules of the sort of club that we have is if you come in the bar and you don't see anything, you get nothing. It's that simple. Morning, JW. Hope you're well. Happy days, happy days, happy days. Yeah, very quiet, so I'm going to have an easy time of things. Platform, how are you, my fella? Evening? It's 11:30. Where are you at? I should know this, actually. Oi, oi. Now then, Kojak, how you doing, boy? Are you looking forward to next week? Ah, he is. You're tired. Absolute girl. Absolute girl. 7:30 in paradise. Thanks for rubbing that in. It's actually snowing here in Durham. So, wonderful. Right, I'm just on finishing marking off a Bitcoin. Done quite well with it actually this week. As much as I hate the bloody thing, it's really good for late at night if you just fancy keeping your hand in, because it moves quite well. The only downside of Bitcoin is if you're on the wrong side of it, fuck me, will you know about it. And that ain't good for anybody. Right. So all my key levels in. Okay. I'll put the fibs in later. So what's happening in your world, guys? Anything good, bad, indifferent? Nothing? Fair enough. It always amazes me. Everybody wants to know what's going on in the trading world, but nobody asks. And then they complain when they don't ask. Very curious. Very curious. Okay, so let's have a little look. JW. Brand new trader. Started learning 6 months ago. Videos are education. Thank you very much. It's really just me being a dick, if I was to be fair. Trading is not difficult at all, guys. It really isn't. The hard part is, and always will be, you. The human emotion behind trading is massive. Even if you're on pennies. Give you a case in point. Let me just... I get laughed at all the time for this account. All right. This particular account, you saw me reset it a week ago because I dropped the leverage down. Leverage is a big thing. Keep your leverage as small as possible. When you've got small accounts, you've got no other choice. you need the leverage simply to open up a position. So if you're on sort of 1 in 30, you're going to struggle to open up the market we're looking at right now. You'll struggle, right? But if you've got 1 in 500, 1 in 400, it's no problem. The trick is to size to that, what it's got. Now, if you see the video that's coming out today, I've just updated the Vanguard because I took £500 out of it. 500 worth of profit, you know, and where's that profit come from? Well, you saw it get reset. It only got reset a week ago. So there's the reset where we transferred the money from the old account into here. And then there you go. There's all the trades that I've done over the course of the last week or so. Sort of the last 8 days. I do get it wrong. You know, you can't get them right all the time. But there's a hell of a lot of wins in there. Win, 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 win. Right? Down. As the count got bigger, I was able to put bigger position sizes on, which made 1,500 quid. Now, from a small balance to be able to take 500 quid as my wages this week, that's it. But look at this side. It's all well and good looking at here where everybody focuses on in the land of sort of make-believe, you know, what you call Instagram. You know, oh look, I made a gazillion today. No, you fucking didn't, right? Look at the sizes here. They'll never show you sizes like that. There you are, 500 quid to 1,500 in less than 8 days, you know, and the position sizes are no more than £1, not really. The 10p's, the 50p, 20p, 70 pence, pound, 50 pence, 10p's, 20p's. The biggest position I put on was yesterday, and that's because the account was up to 1,500 and I could put £1.50 on a slam dunk that I knew was coming, and it was there. Now, when you're seeing all the guff, all right, it takes money to make money, guys. And most traders coming into this don't understand that. They just see the big money and think, oh, this is easy. Really? It's not easy. Not in your Nelly, it's not easy. It's really hard, but technically it's not. If you think about this logically, you have 3 options every time you go to market. Doesn't matter what time frame you look at, whether it's a monthly or a minute. Your price is in exactly the same place. Exactly the same. You draw your levels on. They're in exactly the same place. Case in point. There's a monthly chart. There's the levels. Okay? Drop it into a minute chart. Can't see the levels. That's because they're far apart. Right? But now you can. That level on that monthly is in the same place here. Put it onto an hourly. Now we're talking. Those levels I've just put in are bang on. And it doesn't matter where I'm looking. That price is either going to hit that level or it's going to hit that level. That's it. And the 3 choices you've got are up, down, nowhere. So even here, just looking at a basic chart, I can see exactly where this price is going to go because that is projected into the future. It's the only indicator that will. And then if I go back in time, you can see how accurate these levels are if you know how to draw them in, which is perfect. And if you want to see how it's done, come along the squad, I'll show you, because levels are the secret sauce to how I trade. Superimpose fibs on that, strengthens it even more, and then you're back to your 3 choices. Up, down, nowhere. So I'm always pretty much 50-50 when I go to market. Put my ducks in a row, and if I've got more weight to the buy side, I'm only buying. If I've got more weight to the downside, I'm only selling. That's simple. And this is basic stuff. Basic stuff. And that's how the bigger boys trade. They trade basic stuff. They don't look for super systems that you lot look for on YouTube. And then kick off when you see a small account like this going, it's a waste of time. Well, that waste of time has cracked £2,000 since January. So if you're on a 20 grand a year salary, I've just given myself a 10% pay rise. Now that's the art of trading. It's making your money work for you. I hope that was a long-winded answer to GW, wasn't it? Anyway, if you ask, I'll answer. If not, I'll just disappear. How are you doing, Sundar? Very well. I'm 20 years this year. I'm 25 years working for myself. I'm 55 this year. And trust me, I feel it. Retirement is coming. Getting ready for retirement. But 5 years into working for myself, I had to start trading as part of my job. And it hasn't really changed. The only thing that changed and screwed me up is when I tried to be Billy Big Bollocks and trade small time frames thinking I can get every wave. And I learned very quickly that's a waste of time. And I learned very quickly anybody that starts banging on about finding direction on a 1 minute chart, 5 minute and 15 are fecking arseholes. And not one of them, not one, will show you how to make money over the long period of time. Not one. Right? You want long-term growth, it's slow and it's steady. If you want fast money, go down the bookies. It's that simple. So, oh God, he's here. Shouldn't you be in bed? Haircut. I'll wait, because there might be a little delay on here. Well, will be a delay. He lives in La La Land over in bloody Australia. You're in bed watching this. Fucking hell, you need to get a life. Jesus Christ. Never mind. Never mind. Happy days. So is everybody happy? Will I keep them going? Probably. I'll explain where YouTube came from. I don't care whether somebody watches it or they don't. I would like to think that when people come to it, they enjoy it. And that makes me do more. From a monetary point of view, I couldn't care less. Because I just use it to help support a local cause. So there's no benefit to me whatsoever. So when people start kicking off, I'll tell them to fuck off. And it's that simple. And we see that in the group, and there's a lot of people get upset. But there's a good reason behind this. You're only told where to go if you're a dickhead. So think of it that way. So whenever you see anybody slagging off, it normally comes from themselves to start with. But as long as it's pleasurable, I'll keep it going. But the moment it becomes unpleasurable, I'll quit. And I won't lose a second's sleep on it. Because it won't affect me. If anything, it'll give me my life back. Because one of the things with sort of doing this is it does kind of take over your life at times. And anybody that's in here, that's part of the squad, will tell you this. If somebody asks me a question, regardless of whether I like that question or not, I'll jump on the camera and I'll answer it. I normally answer it pretty much straight away. So it doesn't matter what time of day they ask, they get an answer. Because I'm a bit of an insomniac, so I'm there all the time. But sometimes I do need to step back. And that's why I take a lot of holidays. Case in point, next weekend, it's not something I ever wanted to do. But the guys wanted it, so I've arranged it. We go to a hotel, and instead of just standing there and telling everybody how wonderful I am, because I've been to these kind of events before, I won't do that. People that have been to my classrooms, I come to them and I give them practical knowledge that they can take to market the following day. Now, it is very draining, they're very long days, and we're doing that next weekend. And then straight after it, I'm going on holiday. And then when I come back off holiday, I'll go at it again for probably about 5 weeks. And then I'm going to Spain. And I'll have another holiday. And we're working our way up to Benidorm when the squad's going off to do Scruff in the Sun again. And it's going to be a classroom in Benidorm. So, yeah, I do a lot. And as you can kind of see, it does take over your life. And when we costed out what the event is next weekend, and I showed the guys the costs and how much it is, it actually costs me to do it. So again, it's not a money earner, you know. By the time I've paid my couple of nights stay over and drinks and everything like that, I'll be out of pocket to quite a bit. But the people that are there should go on to do better things. And if I see that, that makes me happy. And from there, I just keep on going. So there you go. So that's it. So yeah, you'll see little Kojak there above you, Sandar James. He's coming, so that'll be interesting. He's buying the drinks, actually. He took over the world working for Amazon and DPD and all that sort of thing. And we all know truck drivers get a lot of money, and they do. So drinks is on him. No worries. Morning, Lawrence. Hope you're well. You'll have to move to the UK. I didn't pick that bit up. Oh, fuck, mate, you don't want to be living here. Christ almighty, it's like a bloody pantomime living here. It's every single day on the news there's another cock up. It's absolutely horrible. Bill the truck driver. Ding dong do. You know what? One of my favourite songs is by Not the 9 O'Clock News. I like trucking. Play it all the time. It does make me laugh. Oh God, he's in and all. What do you want? Well, it's funny enough you say that. There's a lot of people imitate me. There's a lot of people imitate me directly with my images and one thing and another. Those are the scourge of the earth, and they are the bane of my life because people fall for it and then come directly at me, which I find really odd when I explain to them, look, this got nothing to do with me, you've been scammed. And they want me to cover the costs. And it's like, no, you can get stuffed with that one if you're stupid enough, because I have a disclaimer. I never DM services, and I certainly don't sell them. If you take them, it's on your choice. Simple as that. But the other side of it is there's a lot of people do try and imitate the way that I trade and say that it's come from me. It hasn't. Not really. I am just me. Like my wife says, it's just as well there wasn't two of you made the world to be screwed. I just live life to the full, guys. I genuinely live life to the full. One of the things about working for yourself for so long, well, from the age of about 27, I've kind of been top dog, if you like. I was reasonably good in my corporate days, you know, so nobody really told me what to do. And then when I got sick of that and I went off into my own world and started my own business, nobody certainly told me what to do. So from that, you kind of grow a form of arrogance to a degree, but it's also self-reliance. And you start seeing the world a lot different when you work for yourself. And a lot of people kick off about when I say about freeloaders and things like that. When you work for yourself, it's you and you alone. Nobody helps you. And that's it. And that's kind of where it comes from. Well, we love you as well, Sandar. Don't you worry, kid. I am what I am. I can't change. I'm too old to change. I'll always be a loudmouth. And I'll always be a Marmite person. You'll either love or hate me. But the one thing, whether you love me, hate me, and I was the same in my job, I was good at my job. I was always good because I put 110% into it. I always say, if you're going to do it, just do it. Don't be a gunner. And for those of you who don't know what a gunner is, I've seen loads of them in my life. A gunner is somebody who says, oh, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm thinking about that and I'm going to do it tomorrow. No, if you're going to do it, do it. Otherwise, keep your mouth shut, because otherwise you're talking bollocks. And that's it. And I've always been like that. So if I'm going to do something, I'll do it. And the guys will tell you. It's why I throw challenges out to them all the time. I say, right, you pick a chart. Doesn't matter what the fucking chart is. I'll go market and I'll trade it. I'm not going to do it. I will do it. In fact, last week, these live streams are just off the cuff, and they always will be. It's just me marking my charts up while Joanne's sort of downstairs tidying up. And I thought I'll switch the camera on and just see what happens, you know. If it's dead, no problem. I'll just enjoy my coffee and put earphones in. But if there's people asking and having a bit of chat, I'll talk to you. And I'll talk to you from a common sense point of view. And that's it. That's me in a nutshell. So, but last weekend, I can't remember who asked for it actually. I should, and I'll do hold my hand up in shame for that one, because I should really know who asked. Gold on 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧. Well, I did it for you. And I did it at the first opportunity that it presented itself. Because I think it's the only fairest way to do it. And it's like whenever you see my charts, one thing to pay attention on charts, and this is a good thing to sort of watch out. And morning, Nathan, how are you? When everybody's talking about trading and one thing or another, look at the date on the chart. On mine, it'll always be pretty much the day that video, it's very rarely it's not the day and not within an hour or so of me doing the trade. Now, the guys in the squad know what I'm doing before I do it, because the amount of times I'll break a chart down and I'll go, right, this is what I'm doing today. This is what the chart looks like. This is what I expect from it. And then I put the buyer's sheets up well before I go to market, so they know exactly what I'm doing, where I'm, like what I'm buying. That's if I'm buying or selling. And then they can track it themselves. It's not signals. I don't do signals. And anybody in the group that's just there for signals, I'll kick them out. I've got no time for signal hunters, because they are freeloaders, because they want somebody else to do work for them. And this is why trading becomes really difficult, because nobody takes responsibility. And if you're looking at traders and you look at the date, you'll see whether they're right, because the amount of times I've seen someone say, yeah, I'm trading this live and we're going to make this amount of money, and you look at the date and it's like 4 months out of date. It's trading view roll back. Well, I'd make a gazillion if I know what the outcome is, but I never do. You see what I see. So there you go. So as a shift worker, your video showing you can trade in the evens and not open market was priceless. Yeah, I'm not a trainer. I'm not an educator at all. I'm just somebody who does the job. I don't mind. I mean, true, if somebody comes to me and they want a one-to-one, I'll have a one-to-one and you will pay for it because it's my time. But that's not to say I'm an educator. You're just taking me away from my job. So I think that's fair. And if somebody thinks it's not fair, fuck them. I'm not bothered. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. So let's have a look. You're 40 now, and I'm following your way. Right, so you've got 20 years. 20 years. Open up an index tracker. All right, this, nothing I say is financial advice, by the way, guys. I must get that out, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just somebody speaking from their own experience. Now, to case in point, you'll see the Vanguard today. Even if you just started seeing it slowly getting built, it's put a fortune in it. It hit 107,000 today. Now, it started 4 years ago. Now, that, give us a sec, I'll show you. It's easier to show you than explain it. Give us a second. I don't want to show my login details for obvious reasons. Obvious reasons. Okay. There we go. All right. Log out. Log in. Just logging in, guys, and then I can kind of show you what I'm driving at. Right. It doesn't matter what type these you use. This is Vanguard. I find it very easy to use. The fees aren't that bad. I know people kick up and down about it, and they'll go, "Oh, go trading 212. There's no fees." Yeah, but it has the volatility beyond belief, and whatever you're losing in your fees, I don't find it very good. Put it that way. This is stable. I've never had a problem with it. All you need to do is look at a global. Why? Because you've got no idea what's happening in 3 months, let alone 10 years. All right. A global fund is all of the companies together. So when some are good, some are going to be bad, and it'll smooth it out. So instead of looking for the needle in the haystack, you buy in the haystack. And all you need to do is just drip feed in. And there you go. I just drip feed in all the time, you know, constantly. Bang, bang, bang. They're not huge amounts. They're just surplus bits of my profit that I have from my main account over into here. And as you see, they're not big amounts, but I drop them in all the time. Bing, bang, boom. And you can see what's going on. You change them around, so you come out of there and you put it into a new fund. So you can see it's gone from the emerging markets into all caps, so you can manage it yourself. But they're not big amounts. Just bing, bang, boom, bang, boo. You have a good amount there. Swap it round a bit. And you just manage it. So when you look at something like that, all those 50 quids and 500 quids and different bits and pieces, all add up. And that, actually, which is what I was wanting to show you and I didn't. Bad Scruffy, bad Scruffy. All right, is these bits here, okay? And then if you go on to the performance, and we look at sort of the last year, the last rolling year, so bear in mind that's March 24 through to now, look how much that's jumped up. That's jumped up massively. It's given me a 19% return. And that's my interest versus contributions. So I do that for 10 years. How big do you think that thing's going to be? That could actually contribute and pay my pension if I wanted it to. Just a thought. So there we go. Happy days. So let's see where we are. Nepal. Wow. Ash. Welcome to you, Ash. Matty with Profit. How do you join Discord? Discord's part of the Scruffy squad. There's links for it in all the YouTube videos. YouTube own it. So they get the money. I just get a commission. And I made the Discord so it can be addition to it. Whereas what you're paying for in the group is the videos. The Discord is bolted on to me. So I moderate and control who goes in it. So if you're part of that squad, you're allowed in. If you're a dick, you get kicked out. And I don't give a fuck how much you pay. You're kicked out. There's no dickheads in there. And if you go directly to the website, because like Nepal, for argument's sake, I don't think they have access to it because YouTube is location specific. I put the modules on the website as well because I was requested to. And I'll let you into the Discord if you go directly to that as well. All right. So that's what that is. Where do I find that course? Where we at? I've lost things. Where am I at? I was at Nepal. Right, there we are. Paul. Hello, Paul. I'm getting old, boys and girls. This is no good. I haven't had me coffee. Scruffy likes coffee. Right. £50 away from passing 2-step challenge. £100. Using nothing but GoldenEye madness. Oh, well done. Well done, kid. What I'll say with your 50 quid is don't race to the finish line. Just keep doing it gradually. Because what you'll find with sort of any prop is as soon as you get funded, you think, well, hey, I've got all this money, away we go. No, just keep it steady all the time and let the little bits add up. And you'll be amazed how much it makes you across the year. And don't worry about getting to the next milestone. It'll just come in good time. And you'll be fine. You will definitely be fine. Well done. Well done. 200 lots. Back off. Right. Where do you find that strategy, mate? Okay. No, it's not a course. GoldenEye is something that I keep inside the Scruffy squad, and the full versions of it will never be public. Okay. You forgot the 1 minute chart. Yeah, damn right I did. It's not even in my equation, my kid. It's not even in my equation. Ah, dear. Happy days. Everyone's gone. There we go. Scruffy's on one today. And he is. Oh. It's tough being me, you know, guys. It really is. Never mind. Never mind. Happy days. Right. Get back to what I was doing while you lot are quiet. It's tough having 15 holidays. Well, I don't necessarily have 15 holidays a year. I am having 12 this year, though. I'm having a holiday every single month. There's a couple of reasons why. One, I want my life back. And I'm married 15 years this year, in April. And Joanne, for Christmas, asked for time. That's all she wanted. So I said, right, I'll have a holiday every month and I'll give you my time. So that's what I'm doing. And the small accounts and everything that you see me do is paying for it. Because contrary to what somebody said the other week, they thought I worked in a fish and chip shop. Nah, he doesn't trade, he works in a chip shop. Really? Funny, I'm here at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm still here at 10 o'clock at night and I'm showing you what I'm doing. But I know exactly where it came from because our old business that we sold, and if you saw the videos from the start, you used to see that I used to work in the back of a sweet shop, which we owned. We sold that business when Joanne retired. Decided to take early retirement, 50. So earned enough for her to do that. So she helps me. But there was a fish and chip shop next door. So all I've done is looked on Google Earth to see where it was, and they just assumed that I worked in there. The fucking muppets. How do you trade an account when you can't open up the madness positions? Exactly the same. I just don't use the madness positions. I just have to time my market a little bit better. I would measure it out exactly the same way I would do anyway. And I would just step my order back. There's an old thing that says, put your order where you put your stop. And you'll see how many times you get filled. That's the principle of madness. It's putting your order where you would put your stop. Because the chances of you nailing the exact entry point on the nose is pretty slim. It's pretty slim. So that tells you straight away you're not going to time the market. And away it goes. So that's how I would do it. I would measure it out and steps back. Okay. In your Discord channel, there is a monthly payment to remain. How much is it? It's run by YouTube. It's location specific, so you just have to click the membership and it'll tell you how much it is. The money goes directly to them, not me. I get paid a very small commission to run it. Okay, so I don't get involved in any of that side. And if you choose to come, brilliant. And if you don't, no worries. No worries at all. Best of luck to you. That's kind of the way. I try to keep away from that because I don't want to be seen as selling it because I don't really want to sell it. Okay. Happy days. If you are well, you'll see it, but you'll have to pick your way through it, Danny. If you want it in sort of spoon-fed, you need to be a plus. And then you've got the 52 modules or however many they are, and it takes you from the start to the bottom. But other than that, if you go into, well, I'll show you where it's at. It's easier. It's easier. Okay. Flip this over. This is the Discord. Oh, poor Kerr's in the bar on his own. Go on, boys, go in and talk to him. You've got Trader Talk, which is here, where we all just have a bit of a chat, welcome each other. Bulls and Bears gets into discussing the charts, etc. Small Success is exactly what it says it is. It's building up your small accounts and talking about it. Prop, how you get through all of your prop. The guys are doing really well. And sort of, Mirko, a little salute to you, being a journey. Pass. The guys are doing phenomenally well. I'm really pleased with them. Savings Acorns, that's the Vanguard. Rags and Riches, it's just your bragging rights or weeping in the gallows sort of thing. Who we are, pictures of where we've been, few memes about mindset, rules, simple as that. Okay, so that's the chat. Go into Trader Clinic. I put my updates in here every day so they can see exactly what I'm running at. Scruff, Ram, I'll get on to that in just a second. Again, they can ask me whatever you want. I'll go to camera. Paul Booth, exactly what it says it is. Again, requests, they can ask me whatever. I'll go to it. Signals, yeah, of course there is. Scruffy events, they're the events that we're doing. But the part that you're after, if you come in the video vault, you got Where the Scruff, that is the modules. There's 51. And it spoon feeds you the whole way. But you start at 1 and you go to 52. The amount of people that come in go straight to that 39 and don't watch any of the others, then start asking questions. Again, I take a hard note on that. If you can't put the work in, I'm not going to answer the question. Do the whole lot, then ask. But if you go to there first, then start, nah, I'm not interested in you. Market Call, all the live streams that we do. Trader Clinic is all the questions in answer. Coffee with Scruff, etc. But what you're looking for is GoldenEye, and then it's a full walkthrough, all live charts. You'll find what you need in there. So that's that. So I know it sounds a bit hard-nosed when I start saying things like that. But the point is, if I'm not, you'll always fail. And if you're looking for an easy shortcut, you will fail. And I'll guarantee before the end of this, there'll be downvotes left, right, and centre. And quite frankly, I'm not interested, because those people will fail. All right. I'm only interested in people that want to put the work in. If you're going to put the work in, I'll work with you, and I'll work for hours with you, you know, and the guys will tell you if they've done a one-to-one with me and they're putting the work in, it might be paying for an hour, but the amount of times I'm there for 3 is unbelievable, because I can see they're interested. And if they're interested, I'll stay and I'll go through it. And I think that's the way it is. So, happy days, happy days. So, right, I am getting off on one. Got out the wrong side of bed today, guys. I often do, because that's old. It's Saturday. And it's snowing. I can't believe it's snowing. Where's the summer at? Right. So, where are we at? That's very kind of your haircut. We've been on a journey, haven't we, son? And we're getting you there. We definitely are. I am pleased with how you've got on, I must admit. How do you use a monetary figure to decide when to kill a trade? That's a great question. That is a great question. It's very simple. When you come to market, the first thing you'll know is roughly where you're going to get it. All right. So you know, I'm looking at cable, it's going up, we just assume, and you're going to be happy at X area. Not a moving average cross, not an RSI cross or anything like that. There'll be an area on the chart where you're interested in. Now, I use levels for that, okay? So that level will give me an area of the chart I'm interested in. I can then look to see where I'm going to get out at a positive expectation. So it might be the level above, a pip count, whatever, up. But then I'll look below to see where I'm going to be wrong. And I work on 2 points. I work on a level and a swing, and I want both of them. All right. And a fib level is not as strong as a solid level, but I want one of them, and then a swing. So look at a 15-minute chart or an hourly chart, and you'll see where the last crucial swing was. On a 1 minute, 5 minute, absolute bollocks, right? It'll just blast through it, you know. That's why you get cut out all the time. So once I've got my area on the chart that I'm happy to enter, I know where I'm happy to exit. Well, I can see what the distance is between it. Well, if it's 50 points, like sort of 50 points down to where that stop's going to be, and I'm trading at roughly £1 a point, well, that's 50 quid. I would ask myself, am I happy to pay £50? Well, depending on the account. Well, if I've got a £200 account, no. If I've got a £1,000 account, maybe 50 quid. I mean, I'm not going to be happy about it, but it's not going to kill the account. So 50 quid has become the value. But let's say you've got £500 as an account and you're trading £1 a point and you're going to take out 50 quid. Well, that's 10% of that account. So you ask a question, is it worth it? No, it's not. It's too much. Frightened of it. So half your position size. So you trade at 50p a point, but you leave your stop where it is, and the monetary value is now 25. So what you've done is you've set yourself a monetary value that you're happy to lose. Now, in this case, it was 25 quid. So your position size now sizes to that 25, but the stop stayed where it is. Because if you start moving your stop in, you're just inviting the market to take money off you. Waste of time. But your stop is important as well because it has to be in a place that is protected, a level and a swing. They need to be there. If you're just doing, I think I'll do 20 pips. Well, that doesn't mean anything to the market. Market will eat that in a heartbeat. You've got to look at where it's going to stall. Now, sometimes that stall can be miles away, you know, because let's just say there's been a falling knife. And it's, well, if the market decides to retrace all the way to the top of that falling knife, that could be too far away. So in that instance, that ain't worth it. You have to let the market relax on itself a little bit. So these are all bits and pieces of homework that you have to do. But agree a figure that you're happy to lose. Now, I ring fence. I put 10% of my account up per week. So I've got 10% going into Monday. If I trade 5 days, that's essentially 2% a day. And if I trade twice a day, which I do, it's 1% per day. So it's ring fenced. But if I'm stupid enough to use all of the 10% on Monday, I can't trade the rest of the week. And that's the way I do it. It's all part of ring fence money management and budgeting. Hope that helps. Anyway, is it cold? It is freezing. I nearly swore there. It is freezing. It's not good at all. And I'm going to sit and I'm going to watch Star Wars this afternoon. I started watching that new one, actually, Skeleton Crew. I don't like it. Maybe I'm getting too old. I like Full Metal Jacket. He was a good guy. Although the Battery Sergeant that I would have gone with is not necessarily Full Metal Jacket, but the one from Stripes with Bill Murray, that's more my style. That was a great film, Stripes. Happy days. GW, as a member, do you get access to your wages tool? You do. In the tools, there is a bias tool, which works out your directions, etc. It's the one that you see me use. There's all sorts. Pip counters, all my journals, the lot. Everything's there. The only thing that's not there is the strength, because that's personal to me, because I'm probably the only one who can fill it in, because it's a visual representation of what I see and it can't be replicated. Yeah, you trade management. That's the whole idea. Swing trading's pretty good, actually. Again, if you are going to swing trade, the trick with swing trading is you lower your position size. By definition, your stops are wider because you're dealing on high time frames. But just lower your position size and you'll be all right. How do you do, Rob? Good to see you. Oh, Finn. Fucking Finn. How are you doing, boy? Are you having a day off? Is it cold down in Manchester? But fucking freezing here. Happy days, happy days, happy days. Anyway, oh, we good. Yeah. Okay, okay. What we got? Essentially, yeah. Because how do you know it's a great trade? That's the other thing. How do you know it's a great trade? I can have what's deemed a trade because everything's in a row, and get stuffed haircut. All my ducks in a row, but then the market will just plummet. But the easiest way I get round that is I work hour to hour. Top of the hour, ask a question. Is it ready? Yes or no? If it's yes, I'll spend that next hour trying to get in and get out of the trade. If it's no, I won't do anything for another hour. I won't jump from chart to chart to chart. I'll just sit, have a cup of coffee, won't bother me. Keeps my consistency up, keeps my wages up. And that's it. So you never actually know it's a great trade till it's finished. So happy days, happy days. So if you look at stocks, like don't look at stocks at all. Whoa! Look at this, boys and girls. The little boy and girl's coming here. Yeah, she's all happy, you know, because she got a new haircut. Look at that! Look at that new haircut. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. Shall I ruffle it up?
Oh, you wouldn't know.
You're right, I would.
Wait, look, in the snow, that'll do it.
I know, snowing. I'm just telling these it's snowing. Sorry. Stocks are easily manipulated. They are prone to sort of pump and dump all the time. It's just not something I look at. I look at things that has so much data involved in it, they cannot be manipulated to a degree, which is where Forex comes into it. Indices to a degree. A lot of the precious metals and things like that, they are like that, but shares, no, I just don't bother with them at all. Even in winter, you're not kidding. Yeah, W2I, crude oil. Oil's a good one. Again, be very careful with it. Because if it gets on the wrong side of it, oil can shift. So, River works on shares day and week. It does. Funny enough, I started it. But again, it had to have certain criteria and I was in and out very quick. How do these guys do micro scalping, doing 50? Because they're idiots, Haswell. They're just idiots. You cannot sustain that over a long period of time. You can have as many YouTubers as you like saying, oh, I scalp this and I've been doing it for years. Look, I make a gazillion. I had a chat with Black Bull and I explained it to the guys. And I asked them, in the last 10 years, how many scalpers, and I'm talking people that are like that, where they're just taking 2 to 4 pips a trade and they're doing it 100 times a day. How many of them have made it past 5 years? And the answer was 0. None of them. Not one. Day traders, where you're looking for 10 to 30 pips per trade and you're doing it maybe 2 or 3 times a day, they survive. Swing traders by far outweighed the day traders. Most of those survived. But scalpers, not one. Not one. You can't do it. You can't concentrate that long. You can do it with algos, but then the market conditions change and that algo is bollocks. So they don't survive much either. But that's just my own personal viewpoint. Okay. Right. So you two look good together. Hey, we look good together. Hey, you see that? We look good together. Do you want to go out on a date?
Tonight you're cooking.
Yeah. If I'm cooking and I provide a meal, what you provide?
I'm watching TV like you normally do.
All right. Oh, we're swapping roles then, are we? Oh dear. I do like it, you know. Yeah, you know, occasionally. You know. Although some people do question our marriage from time to time. Do we like each other?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a cow?
No.
You are a cow.
Why you just called me?
And that's your cow, right? And the question, my marriage. Yeah, right. How are we doing? Good mornings. Good morning, Smith Lord. How are you? 1 or 2 trades a day, max. I don't trade much more. I mean, when you see lots of positions, what you got to remember is I break a position all the time. And I normally work to 5 entries. Now, I also do what's called rack and stack. Now, this is where it gets really odd, because I'll have a level of interest and I'll open up 5 positions on the same level with 5 different target settings. Okay? But then underneath it, there'll be another level with another 5 positions, all with different targets as well. It's called rack and stack. And it's madness almost on steroids. And what that does is it's the same position, but I'm capitalizing on the heartbeat of the market as it breathes in and breathes out. But I never know how far a market's going to go. So I'll have it staged. 5 pip target, 10 pip target, 15, 20, 25 pip target. As it pushes up, takes the 5 pip out, I'll replace it with another order. And this comes from the bottom to the top. This is form of ladder trading. And then eventually the ladder works its way right the way up to the top. And then whatever's left to run, just let it go. And that's it. So happy days. So that's a different way of looking at life. I've got me other coffee, so I'm going to look at that now. Right, where are we up to? Do another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to go get some lunch. So even 2 or 3 a week. My river trades, sometimes I can go and only get 1 a month, but they pay quite well, and that's it. So you can take a certain profit and manage your risk. I like it. That's what it's all about. Now, see, the terminology I use is a lot different to what you hear and see. Now, a lot of what you hear and see is just recycled garbage out of the sort of ABC playbook. But in the real world, it doesn't work. I don't think you should risk anything. The moment you risk it, you've lost it. I invest it. I definitely invest. So I will put X amount into the market to get X amount out of the market. And this idea of RR and all of that bollocks, no, that's not an investing mentality. It's a gambling mentality. And I don't like that. So I'll do it my way. So there we go. Back to work, where we are. I've lost me thing. Right, Danny, back to work, but thanks again. Anytime, kid. Anytime. I'm always about. Sandar, it's all about what you want to lose for the day. The only thing you have in control. That's correct. That is absolutely correct. And that's where my ring fencing comes from. If I go in with that idea, I already have a calm mind. So that's one of the things people say, oh, you're so calm when you trade. Well, yeah, I'm calm for 2 reasons. 1, I already know what I'm doing. But 2, I've already agreed to the trade before I take it. So if I'm annoyed by it, then that trade was too big. I've already agreed to the win or the loss. And it's that simple. Happy days. Can you be profited with a negative risk reward? You can to a degree, but eventually it's going to catch up with you and wipe you out. To give you an idea of what I do, I work on one-on-one. When any trade I go into is based on a one-on-one criteria from a madness setup. Now, it's for those who don't understand it, and the public generally don't, and they never will, because it's where I make my money. But the squad guys know exactly what I'm about to say. It's based on one-on-one to a 127 box of pain, position 3. And they will know exactly what that means. And what it means is I'm only ever willing to lose what I'm willing to get. And then my win rate, which as you've seen, it's currently running about 89%, gets me through it. And then I'm fine. So happy days. Right. Lemo. For new traders, is it better or worse to lower your target? Say 7 pip instead of 10. Worse. Your target needs to be what the target needs to be. Likewise, your stop needs to be what it has to be. Now, you've got to be asking yourself, is the trade worth it? If you lower your target, what that'll do is it'll increase your confidence because you're winning more. But you're also putting a lot of stress on the account as well for when you lose. So what you're better off doing is, instead of lowering your target, lower the amount of trades you take. So if you take 10 trades, only take 5. But then make certain those 5s are bang on. And then you'll find that it's a lot nicer, a lot easier. The 30-day challenge is wonderful for that. Okay. I use 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧 on the 4-hour. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧. I don't particularly like the moving average cross that's inside it, but I do find the Kumho cloud and the Kumho twist to be pretty good. It certainly gives you a good area on the chart that you can visually see whether or not the price is above or below, and then you can see the plateaus of the cloud and also the twist to see if there's some form of a turn coming on the horizon. So it's one of those instruments that when you first look at it, it's like, holy crap, because it is a bit mental. But once you get to understand it, it is a kind of all-in-one way of looking at the chart. Me personally, I just use basic stuff. I look at an RSI, a MACD, and a Bollinger Band. Bollinger Band tells me strength, MACD will tell me general direction, and the RSI will tell me momentum. Now, do they help trigger what I'm doing? No, not at all. They just give me a sentiment of what the market is up to. And then I'll look across multiple time frames to see if I've got my ducks in a row. And if I'm happy, good, I'll go market. And if I'm unhappy, I'll leave it be. Simple stuff. So, happy days. Trading full time, is it possible small account 1 to 5k? For your living, I think it would be pretty tight. If you want to make a living from it, you need to have a bit of breathing space, and you're probably looking at 10,000 plus to start making a living from it. 1 to 5k will certainly give you decent trades, but the pressure that's on the account is huge. The bigger the account, the easier it becomes, but don't fall into the trap of just because you've got a big account, you can put huge position size on. I've got a good size account, I've just shown you it. But I still only trade at a maximum of 2.5 lots, and I'm normally at half a lot to a lot. That's the way to look at it. Same as any other business. It takes money to make. Did have a banger, 30%, well done. 6.6 average, then lost it all because of big stops and high risk, as you said. That kind of answers the question earlier up about the 7 pips. You can have a good run, but eventually the stops will wipe you out. Now, this is a question that's asked regular to me about your stop. There's a difference between having a large, super wide stop and a tight stop. You want to be somewhere in the middle. And a good baseline to work to is about half an ATR. So if an ATR is 100, have a maximum stop, a hard stop at about 50, right? Maybe 60 at a push. But also before you get there, have a mental stop, a thinking stop. So you've actually got 2 points on the chart. I have a hard stop for when I'm not in front of the screen, and I always know where my mental stop is. That's what the box of pain is. Now, the box of pain, as it's coming up to it, I'm thinking I'm wrong and it's time to get out. I do have rules in Madness that do that. 1, 2, 3, trade. 4, get out where I got in. 5, just get out. That's it. They're my rules set. Now, I always have it based on a one-on-one, so I'm not going to lose more than I'm going to win sort of thing. But if I had a stop that was, say, 200 pips, so it's like double the ATR, and I've got it wrong, well, that's just going to wipe me out. And it's all about controlling yourself. And the best thing you can ever do is just slow down. Slow down. The desire to trade should never outweigh your reason. And that's the thing. Okay, so where are we up to? 1 to 2 lot size and small account. Oh, it's way too big. Way too big. It's the max size on 5k should be half a lot, maximum. Okay. What's huge advice? Add money, trading account, small account. Just build it up. Just build it up. And another way of doing it, it's a little bit like the small account I've just shown you. Earn the right to trade by building it up. You know, if you see my journal, the way that I do things, I take half the profit for me and I leave half the profit in the account. And what it means is the account is growing, but I'm growing as well, and I've got some money for it. So happy days, happy days. Steve's a great guy, and he's a fantastic trader. But you're right, he is incredibly risky. He trades massive size on a martingale, but he knows how to work it. He knows his pain points, and he knows the markets inside out. And he does really well from it. But martingale, it's too much for me. It's way too risky for me. So let's have a look. Sterling, all time frames are aligning. RSI, MAC looks like a strong trade to continue. Why do I keep catching the end of the moves? When they align like that, one of the initial thought is, oh, everything's there, in we go. But you kind of look at reverse psychology as well. When they align, you'll often find the lower time frames, the 5 minute and the 15, are stretched, which is fine. You let them come back up on themselves. So essentially, if you're going to sell it, you want the lower time frames to be high. So you are selling into the highs. And it's why you'll often hear me say you sell into green candles and you buy into red ones. And the reason being is it's allowing you the market to breathe. So you're basically buying the pullback or selling the pullback, whichever way you're going. Otherwise, you get caught on it. Okay. I use a recent clear swing, but when you say a 50 pip stop, do you mean from first entry or the total stop of man? No, it's from your first entry. Right. Yeah. It's something that served me quite well, Phil. My reason to trade is freedom. I don't want to be in front of this screen all the time. And people are like, oh, I love it. I love the charts and one thing and another. No, you love gambling. This is just a job to me. That's it. See you, Duke. I'm going to sign off myself as well. I'm going to get some lunch. My brother and I have just joined, going through the modules. Well done. Well done. It's just all my thoughts, kid. It's all my thoughts, David. How long did it take you to become profitable and be consistent? See, my journey into trading was very different, JB. It was my job. So I was kind of out of the gate. I was okay. But when I decided that I was doing day trading and doing it as it is now, 18 months to 3 years is what you want to be setting aside. Because a lot of it is down to you, not the technicals. It's understanding your pain points, understanding what you need, and also build up the reserves to do it in the first place. I wouldn't recommend anybody who's like a high net worth individual. And I've had people come to me saying, right, I've got 30 grand to one side and saying, if I put this into an account, will I start making money off it? And I'm like, fuck no. Put a couple of grand in and trade at 20p to a pound, and then build up your consistency. And then once you've earned the right to trade, go into it. But for me, I started doing what's called forward purchasing. And that's a different kettle of fish. It's about buying currency or agreeing an exchange rate with the bank based on the fluctuation between the pound and the US dollar. Because when you buy products in the Far East, they don't want that domestic currency, and they certainly don't want pound notes, they want US dollar. So that's where I started. So my sort of journey in was a lot different. I actually came into it through industry. So there wasn't really a timestamp. Okay, so where are we up? Do the last questions and I'll call it a day. Put 10K in account, but I want to start with £1,000 slow. That's very wise, Haswell. Just earn your right to trade. And if you're losing, a good way of doing it, get yourself a prop fund. Something like the boot camp on the 5%ers. These are excellent training wheels. Or get a zero on Darwin. They don't cost a lot of money, but you've still got something at stake. And I do advocate this. You should have some skin in the game. So you'll pay your money, you'll trade to the passing point. And if you can pass it, then there's no reason you can't do that with your own account. But it's cost you very little to do it. And that's your apprenticeship. You'll do well. Okay. So you go, cheers, Scrub. All the best, Mark. Nobody think is all about trade. So ask them a question, valuable asset. The answer is time. Correct. And with that timely word, I'm going to go grab some lunch. Been banging on for God knows how long. Happy days, happy days. Oh, somebody's come into the group. Very welcome. And if you want to keep these going, there is the thanks button, and it'll all go to a good cause. So appreciate it. Okay, guys. See you all in the next one. I'll try and do these on a Saturday morning when I'm just chewing on and just ask questions. And if you want something brought up, because it's normally pretty quiet at the start, drop on my website. You'll see my contact. Drop me a question, and I'll bring it up on the live stream to start with by going through the email questions. And who knows, we'll maybe build up a series like this. So it's all on you guys. If you want it, drop me some emails. If you don't want it and there's no emails, I'll just give it a miss. So it's on you. See you soon.